Gente, não tá live.
Hello.
Good morning.
Is that you, Doris?
Yes.
Bom dia.
Bom dia. I'm Doroteia, but you can call me Doris.
I've seen your CV. Thank you very much for coming, Doris. It's really nice having you here for this design thinking women acceleration project. We are really happy to have you. Yes, you are Brazilians and we love Brazilians here, you know? I love Brazilians. In the Silicon Valley, you are known as the best innovators because of the gambiarras, you know? You always fix all the problems that we create for you to solve. You are really effective and creative and cheap, the best part of it. Yeah, cheap labor. Yeah, we know Brazilians are cheap because of the dollar is now really overvalued against the real, and it's really nice for us. But look, the opportunity I'm going to provide you is amazing because you will receive dollars in investments, right? So you could spend a lot in Brazil and hire a lot of cheap labor friends for you to work in your startup. But then you will have to present a very convincing pitch. And I guess you have gone through our design thinking toolkit for women that we have provided you. And you will probably will be able right now to present your value proposition. So you have, you know, in a pitch, 1 minute for presenting your work, right? So please do it. I'm just curious to see what have you prepared for us.
Thank you so much, Tom White. It's a pleasure meeting you. Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Can I show you?
No. Wait. I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Doris. Look, I have done recently a diversity, equity, and innovation. No, it's not innovation. It's inclusion. I'm sorry. Diversity, equity, and inclusion training in my company. And I've learned how to communicate with women in a much more fair way, in a much more open way, anti-sexist, you know, and I'm gonna explain to you what does this means, you know. It's very important. This is called mansplaining. Look, it's the woman has a point to say something to the man, but the man does not wait for the woman to say anything, just interrupt her and just tell stuff, gibberish stuff on top of what she's saying. And then he doesn't listen, and he's not really engaged to co-creation. That's too bad for innovation. That's why I've learned in this diversity, equity, and inclusion training that I should not interrupt you. So go ahead and do your presentation. You have 1 minute, but just 1 minute. After that, I will interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's do it quick, right? That's good that you have done this, including training. Okay, so can I share
diversity, equity, and inclusion? I can tell you.
Okay.
So you want to present now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, but look. Wait a minute. Yeah, here you go. What? What's that? What is that, Doris? This looks disgusting.
This is a visual poetry that I did.
Come on.
Well, I would like to start this speech with this introduction, this visually introduction with these artworks from these women, Fang Ming Liao and Maria Luneva. These artists try to work with these different perspectives for women. And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Doris, I'm feeling a bit dizzy, you know. While I look at the screen, I see a lot of blood, and I can't withstand that because, I'm an underprivileged man. I didn't have sisters to understand about the women's world when I was a kid. I'm sorry, so it's very hard for me to see these pictures, and I'm gonna shut this down because I can't withstand it. Sorry. So can you proceed with your pitch without looking at this artwork?
Okay. Well, but it's about this, okay? I can tell you, I would like to resignify and to revalue what means to be a woman, and what means to pass through this time of the month, okay? Because women in fragile situation, they get sick because of the lack of resources, and also because of the precarious and improvisations that they use as pets. So I see this as an opportunity to try to build new values and different perspectives to empower women, okay? So this is about what this project is. It's about empowering women through this fragile time of the month, okay? And I hope we can work together the solutions and bring some innovation perspective to it.
Look, Doris, you haven't gone through the design thinking framework toolkit and whatever innovation stuff we have provided you. And I can see that you're presenting art, and it's not, design is not art. I'm sorry to tell you, it's all about innovation. I have to show you now and to explain to you again something very important that you don't get it. You have to solve a wicked problem in design. You have to, at the beginning, look at something that is really difficult to understand. It's really crazy, and then you look at the wicked problem. It's all. I'll play it again because it's really important. So you get this part. You move around the design space. You explain. You try many things, but you don't get it. What is the problem, right? But as soon as you try as hard and you apply the methods that we have created for you, you tame the problem. So the problem becomes nicer, and then you can find a proper solution. So what do you think? What do you think, Doris, about taming wicked problems?
Well, yeah, period. It's a wicked period, right? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we could. Well, I can bring you some more concretenesses to this project. Okay, we can make it work. What do you think about?
I have an idea for you, Doris. I've heard that Jair Bolsonaro's Brazilian president, also known as Bozo. Yeah, I watched. He was really terrible. I mean, he's such a sexist guy. It's terrible. It's terrible. I understand that in the diversity, equity, and innovation training, I've learned that Bolsonaro is one of the worst leaders in the politics currently living, just after Trump. But then I want you to somehow overcome this period of poverty in Brazil, because you are really right. Why do you come with this artistic solution for the elite, for the rich people? Those rich people can afford buying flowers. You can't do that in Brazil. Most of women over there, we know that. We have done some research that they are really poor. And I want you to go back to your initial ideas and develop empathy for these women. And especially, I would like you to focus on marginalized women in Brazil, because those are the ones that, I know you don't look marginalized. You look like someone who's rich. You are well dressed. You have this nice white neutral background. You are a designer, right? So you are upper class in Brazil. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
What do you think?
I can work with these things. Okay. I can bring you more empathy. Okay. I can talk to women. I'm a woman too.
Yes.
I understand their situation. Okay.
But speaking of empathy, I have another visual explanation for you. So just look at this empathy. Mm-hmm. Suppose that you are now going to the field and you are doing some ethnographic studies, right? And then you look at the person who is different from you. For example, you are you are not white, you are a Latino woman of color, right? But you are looking, for example, to the experience of a black woman. You are not a black woman. You don't know how the black woman experiences and feels the world, right? So you just go ahead and do these ethnographic studies, and then you just look from distance what is like that experience, right, of life. That's what is called empathy, and that's what happens if you look carefully enough. You know how to become a black woman, and then you can look at your face in the mirror, the screen, and then you can feel how bad it is life of a black woman. But this badness will bring you great ideas. Innovation stems from going deep into feeling bad. That's what empathy is all about. Then you become happy because you got an idea, and now you will give back the innovation to the black woman, and the black woman will become as good as you are. There won't be any longer any differences. They will be equal. That's what equality means. So,
Okay.
what do you think about this?
Well, I appreciate your speeches about this process, which this project can come through. And I really need this investment, and I will do my best to make this work. Okay. I hope you can understand my situation and give me another chance. What do you think?
Well,
We can
I would say
schedule another meeting.
first, I have to tell you that our company is really committed to changing the world, and that's why we need to give you another opportunity. Because you seems to be really a person who wants to improve and change and develop like the world we want to change. Therefore, I will give you another extra week for you to think about it, and then you present again, and then you have another pitch, because we are magnanimous, especially with the Brazilian designers. We don't want it to be in this colonial position or imperialist position. We also have heard about decolonizing design in our diversity, equity, and innovation training, right? So I really want you to go back to the field and reflect and find a wicked problem, try to tame that problem by developing empathy for the different people. Empathy, you have to feel what the person feels. Yeah,
okay,
right? And then, what's going on?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, hold on.
What's going on? Hey, Doris, come back. I'm here speaking. Can't you hear me? That's not very professional, huh?
Hi.
Being professional. I'm sorry. What the hell? Look, Doris. This is an innovation program, especially aimed at women, not at mothers. We also have a mother's innovation program. You should have subscribed to the right program, because over there we can accommodate those situations. And for example, the instructors are not like me. They didn't have a sister that are underprivileged. I cannot withstand. I also don't have kids. It's really hard for me. So I'm sorry. I have to tell you to hang out and see you again next week. And be more professional that next time, all right?
Okay, I will. Okay, it's about empathy. We will develop some empathy, right? We can make it. Hi, Helena.
Hi, Doris. How was your pitch?
Oh, it was harsh. It was so harsh. Really. I did my best, I've been working this for weeks, I did all this visual poetry, about women's period, and he was like disgusted by it. I don't understand why, but he was disgusted. He shut down like my screen, so he wouldn't see.
He shut down your screen?
He did. But wow. It was all about flowers. There was no blood. It was just flowers. I was just trying to pass this concept to, this different aesthetics for women. you know, because this is all the project is about, you know. I want to change his perspective about menstruation, you know. That's all which is about. But it was really harsh. But I don't know, you know, it was, I'm glad I met Tom White. You know, I feel like a little special, you know. It's not every
And
day that we meet
what
some
did
big
you
investors, you know.
what did you tell him? Like, it's not okay for him to shut down your project. He, like, you were saying that he didn't even listen.
No, he was like, you know, like men explaining. He was doing it all along. I did not knew how to interrupt, you know, because I need the money. You know, Elena, I am a
Yeah.
single woman, a single mother. You know, I need this. It's not every day that we get these investors to give us resources so we can work on our
Yeah.
projects. You know, it's not every day that
Yeah.
this happens. I don't even know how I get there, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, Neil, I started crying. And
Really?
yeah, she
Oh, how is
did. She did.
Nila?
I guess she was hungry, you
I miss
know.
her so much.
She's doing fine. She's doing fine. But her mother, it's hard.
Oh, that is, I know you worked very hard on this, and you know, I'm really supportive of all your work, and I know you really want this investment, and you have this dream to work with people abroad, and I really respect that, even though it's not something that I would go for. And you know, I've been working really hard on this period poverty process. That's how we know each other, right? We
All
knew each
right.
other do you remember, was that event on period poverty? We met, and then yeah.
Yeah,
uh
yeah. I was doing some research for this project, you know.
yeah, I
Everything is
remember.
connected. And I don't know, you could help me, I guess, to build something more concrete. He asked it for, you know. What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think?
Yeah.
We could work
the
together, maybe?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, you know, that I'm working with those community women in that project that I talked to about. And we are organizing a big protest with feminists from popular movements regarding this problem of period poverty. You know, we realize that many of these people who menstruate are sick because they are using like breadcrumbs, journal papers instead of sanitary products for their period, and it's very, very, very hard for them. Can you imagine? Like, this kind of things can cause really serious infection, and during the pandemic, it's even worse. They don't have access to pads or basic sanitation and minimal hygiene conditions. So we are really getting together to face this. Lots of services in many centers, they do not work anymore because of the pandemic. They are going remote. So women don't have access to like basic social programs. The closing of schools is really an issue because children could receive counseling or have access to toilet, at least in schools, and they don't even have that right now because of the pandemic. So yeah, on the top of that, like, Bolsonaro denying the main measure of the mental health promotion and protection. Like, did you hear about the bill, right?
Yeah, I've heard. You know, Tom White even talked a little bit about this. I was
So he
surprised that
knows
he did
about the
not support.
problem.
Yeah, you know, definitely he knows. I don't know, but maybe we have a path we can work. You know, I see this as an opportunity. Okay, I see this as an
Yeah.
opportunity to try to transform the situation. You know.
Yeah, but like, Bolsonaro denied the free distribution of sanitary pads to low-income students and homeless people, and right now we are like trying to make a point and take a stand about that. So the thing that I can do for you right now is like we are programming this very massive protest in 7 cities. It's gonna be artistic and very aggressive in some way. It's gonna be big, and yeah, you should come. We're gonna have a meeting tomorrow, and the protest will happen on Friday in 7 different cities. And we are not going to stop there. Like, we are trying to promote the production of pads within this community who are facing unemployment and stuff. And we're getting help from different feminist movements, politicians, producers. And I'm very excited. Like, we're going to start with this massive protest, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to like try to engage people around this issue. And I'm sure like your product can have many inspiration in this process, but also you can help us develop further our products and our like sustainable development within the communities. Like, you don't even need this guy.
But I need the money.
Yeah,
I don't know if the social movement can give me something back, like something substantial, like
yeah,
I don't
probably
know.
not the amount of money like that you're gonna have with the acceleration program. Like, we are not an acceleration program, but we are building alliances, and we have this politicians with us. They are getting like some funding to pay those women who are unemployed to produce this pad. Like, think about it. It's gonna be a huge walk through this, but maybe we can make like women who are unemployed to get some income and produce something that it's good for the environment as well. And maybe I know that's important for you, and maybe we can like walk around it. You don't need this guy. You can maybe come to the protest, talk to those women. Maybe you get inspired for your project, and I don't know, maybe we can like get others' ideas, so you can develop your product and also be part of this alliance that we are building.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this invitation. I'm glad I can talk to you. You are such a good friend. Okay. But I don't know. I feel like I'm so close. I'm so close.
Yeah,
I can make this work, and I must try. So I don't know if I have time to go for the action this Friday, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, because I don't know. This brings some concretenesses to my project, and I'm happy
yeah.
about this. Okay, I'm really happy.
Yeah, you should definitely come, like, talk to those women. I think you're gonna change your mind once you hear those women and you understand the problem they are facing. You're not gonna give up on helping this project out and trying to do your best to be part of this. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it, and we are gonna be thrilled to have you there.
Okay, thank you so much, Elena. You're such a good friend.
Yeah, you can
And
count on me, and I really hope like you get the respect you deserve. But like, I don't know if that's the right place for you, you know?
well, I will fight for my own respect. I will definitely fight for it. Okay, I will do my best. I need this. Well, I guess you understand my situation, but it's so nice count on you. Okay, thank you so much, Elena. You are incredible.
Yeah,
You
I
are
will text the
a big
details.
one.
I will text the details, and like, it's not an open meeting because we are really preoccupied about safety and about how Bolsonaro is persecuting feminists and social movement leaders. So we are really, really worried about safety. But I trust you, and I will text you details, but don't share with nobody, please. Like,
I won't.
you can come.
I won't. You can trust me. You can trust me. Okay. You can definitely trust me.
Okay, I will text the details so you can go to the meeting. It's gonna be an online meeting, so you can have Mila and stuff. On the protest on Friday, we're gonna be on downtown on Friday, and we are gonna organize those things on the meeting tomorrow. So I'll text you the details. But please, please, please don't share. We are very, very worried about safety.
I won't. Well, I wish you the best luck, okay? And we talked.
Yeah. I hope you feel better, and you can count on me.
Thank you so much, Helena. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.
Hello, everybody. So welcome to our Theater of the Oppressed session here at the Attending to the Futures conference. So what you have gone through is the first act of our play. And I welcome all my fellow colleagues here to join this conversation right now in between the acts. So here I have Bibiana Serpa as Elena, Rafaela as Doris, and Carmen as Crystal. She didn't appear yet, but she will in a few minutes. So I would like to start by explaining what, well, I will not explain. I'm sorry, I'm not Tom Mike any longer. I'm just Frederick from Federal University of Technology, Paraná. And I'll hand over to Rafaela to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here with you guys. I'm Rafaela. I'm a student of design, also student of Frederick, and also part of Design and Opressão, this solidarity group that we have, which fights oppression, and that's it.
So, Bibiana, would you like to introduce you, please?
Thank you, Fred. Hi, everyone. I'm Bibiana. I'm playing Elena in this play, and I'm a PhD student at KISD, the University of in Rio de Janeiro. And I'm part of the Design and Oppression Network, and very glad to be here with you so we can discuss a little bit about oppression and design.
And what about you, Carmen? Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Carmen. I'm a Brazilian based in between Berlin and London. I'm a PhD student at the Royal College of Art. And yeah, I'm really glad to be joining this play. This is my first time doing the play. I'm really excited to, portray my very brief character in the second act. That's it.
Nice. Well, Theater of the Oppressed was developed by Augusto Boal during the dictatorship times of Brazil in the 60s and the 70s. And he was later joined by Coringas, the people that developed further methodology. And I would like just to share with you a brief picture of Augusto Boal and Bárbara Santos, because Bárbara Santos, she is still alive. Augusto Boal is no longer with us, but she's alive and she's practicing Theater of the Oppressed practitioner in Berlin. And she's quite close to you who lives in Germany, right? So here you see Bárbara Santos on the left side and Augusto Boal on the right side. Where Boal left Theater of the Oppressed, especially a particular Theater of the Oppressed for women's approach, Teatro das Oprimidas. She just launched a book, in Portuguese early this year. And what does it mean, theater press? It means staging theater for the benefits of the oppressed, not of the oppressor. So we stage the contradictions that prevent the oppressed to develop further. The oppressed can be any kind of social group that has been historically underprivileged. And so we are adapting theater press to this reality of online video conferencing we have done in the past as an opportunity to really engage in an embodied way, physical way. But now we can't do that. Therefore, we are trying to adapt with the resources available. And I would like to ask Rafaela to say a little bit more about about this process, how we are developing this play, and how people can participate, interact with us.
Okay, well, if you felt a little uncomfortable and you did not agree with what we staged already, that was our main object. So feel free to try to accommodate all these thoughts here on our chat, so we can talk a little bit more and try to open up this oppressed situations and try to bring some cultural relevances to this play. And well, Teatro Fórum from Boal is a play that people interact, and through some point they can also come here and join us, so they can play with us and also incarnate somehow these oppressed things, or also try to bring some solution to it, to try to reverse the situation. That's all about. So we are going to have some other acts, and we are also going to develop a little bit more these characters. So there's more to see, so stay there. But well, I guess that's a little bit I can talk about right now. Should we move on to the already commented things we have here, Frederick? What do you think?
Yes, I think Carmen is monitoring the comments that we're receiving, right? And we could just respond to some of them.
Yes, I think a lot of people were, really, they really wanted Rafaela's character to be angry. That was a comment that came through both on Hopin and also on YouTube, and maybe that's something you can comment on.
Yeah, well, it's really harsh. Play the contradiction is something deep, but at the end of the day, we got some script we must follow, but also it's not easy, you know. Doris could not react back, I guess, because she needs the money, she needs the situation to come along, and it's a little, it's more than just reacting to someone which has more power than you know. So I believe she doesn't have many options, but the situation that she has with her friend Elena, it's definitely something very intriguing, because she could definitely have more interactions with Elena. She definitely could try to make more contact and build something greater. You know, I don't think she is interested on it. So I believe she has this oppressed thing so much in her head that she simply cannot see this as an opportunity. You know, she only wants what's for her. You know, she's so individual, unfortunately, and that's just one main thing, that it's a result, a reflection of what this system this capitalist system, brings up on people. They are not trying to connect. They are not trying to connect. They are just trying to be to get what they want in a I way, in an individual way. So it's a very weak situation, right?
Speaking of which, we just received a comment from Vinicius Sasso at Hopin, and I'm gonna display here. And maybe Bibiana, would you like to address this comment? So Vinicius says, sometimes the solution is partially already lying within people, the oppressed ones. You give them an opportunity to speak, possible solutions might arise from this. Do you agree with that, Bibiana?
I don't know if the solution is already lying, but definitely without the oppressed, we are not gonna have any kind of how do I say superação?
Overcoming.
Okay, sorry guys, English is not our first language. Yeah, we definitely need the oppressed to join forces to overcome oppression. And it seems to me like Doris is not interested in allying with the oppressed, but she thinks she can talk for the oppressed. And the situation that Freire calls the contradiction between oppressed and oppressors is not something we can do without getting together with the oppressed. The dream of the oppressed is to become the oppressor, Freire says, when we don't face this liberating process. So maybe Doris is hoping to be this powerful woman, and she thinks she can help other women or people who menstruate through her project. But actually, she's trying to get powerful herself. And maybe she sees in Tom White this guy who can give her this power, and she can confront him because she is oppressed in this situation, but she also needs him in this situation to become this powerful woman. So it's very hard for her to make a stand. And while we sit here and watch her face those terrible interruption moments and mansplaining, and it's easier for us to judge her and to say, oh, you need to face that, you need to stand up for that. But actually, she's a single mother. She doesn't have maybe she doesn't realize that she could go through other paths, because in capitalism, the path is the path that is already given to us is that one. Is the investors, is to prove yourself all the time, is to prove you have the best ideas, that you have what it takes. And we are all into that. So it's very hard for us to fight, not to fight Tom White, but to fight this system that puts us in those kind of situations.
We have here another question from Valentina Volpi, and this will be the last question, I guess, before we go to Act 2, because we still have some stories to tell you. So Valentina Volpi asks, what?
Sorry, just a second. I think we can combine this question from Valentina with a comment from Luciana that came through YouTube.
Great idea.
Which is, Luciana says, I think it's very hard, if not impossible, to make inclusive design when there's financial interest or any other kind of power play involved. And I think, can respond those two questions together.
Who wants to answer that? Those are very hard questions. So what's the difference between empathy and solidarity? I would ask an authoritarian researcher here who has published some papers recently about empathy and solidarity. Bibiana, please enlighten us.
Recently we presented a paper. I presented a paper with a colleague, Samia Batista, in the Pivot conference. It should be published anytime soon, regarding solidarity and empathy. For us, empathy it's an action, an individual action that puts all the power in the designer within situations. And it's very related to this kind of, I can feel what the other people feel. And we don't think that that's the case. And when we talk about solidarity, we are talking about political action. We are talking about understanding a struggle and standing together to fight for rights, to fight for justice, and to fight oppression. Solidarity is a bond. It's something that do not pretend to feel what other people feels, but actually it's a kind of political ethics in building more equitable situations without oppression. And we think in this paper, we reflect on how solidarity builds up a fight against oppressions, while empathy just minimizes some outcomes of oppressions. And so solidarity, it's really about overcoming oppression, while empathy, it's about mitigating some effects of oppression.
So there's another question here, but does anyone want to still address this empathy versus solidarity? No? So I just like to say a few words about it, because empathy is more like alterity relation concept between one person and another person. But solidarity is more about alterity relations between a group and another group. And it's about a collective feeling. It's not an individual feeling, I would say. You can't be solidar. There's no solidarity in individual terms. It cannot be solidarity alone to yourself or to another person. You really have to be solidarity, bridging the gaps between the different groups. So I have a question here, but I cannot fit the whole question in this box here, but I'll tell you, it's Eduardo de Souza who wrote it. It doesn't fit his name, but he's asking, in our daily oppressions, we often cannot talk back and overtly resist. The systemic oppression stops us from doing so. So how can we turn this frustration to something productive and liberating? Eduardo is also a member of the Design and Oppression Network. So here's a kiss for you. And he also joined some Theater of the Press sessions in the past. But now today he's in the audience, but maybe he would like to join us in a few minutes after the second act. There will be the opportunity for anyone who wants to join us here at the stage and try to do what he just asked. So do you want to comment anything, Rafaela, Bibiana, or Carmen?
I can comment something. I guess resisting is something very empowering and important. To start this talk, resisting is the first thing, the main thing, and I think it's already something. It's not just resisting. Sometimes it's really hard to resist. And well, also it's important to understand the constructions that happens and goes around these daily oppressions. So reflecting on them and trying to really come out with understanding of what is going on and why you're feeling that way. And I guess it's also important because it can elucidate realities that goes out of your control. So then you can understand what is on your control, so you can do it and try to react, or simply just question, or try to have some dialogue. But well, I understand that sometimes it's not just that it will help bring something different out. Sometimes we need to fight and fight in a different perspective, you know, more aggressive, and even, I don't know, it depends. It's something, it's very complex, but I guess resisting, understanding, and trying to react to the world, it's definitely important, because we need to react to the world. We cannot always accept, you know. I guess that's something I can I can say.
Rafa, I think one thing that you bring to the conversation that I would like to emphasize is that oppression is not an individual thing. It's like we are not. It's not our fault to be in oppressive situations. It's not something we face individually, and understanding that, understanding the systems of oppression, understanding the historical oppressions of some marginalized groups, is something that can be very invigorating. And understanding that it's a collective process, and understanding that we are part of a group of people who are historically oppressed, also builds up a sense of community, a sense of collectiveness, that we can only engage with this struggle in a collective movement, in a collective of people who are facing the struggle together. And I'm very energetic about getting with the social movements, organize yourself politically, be part of something that you really cares for, because I think that's the only way that we can empower ourselves and contribute to some change in the world. We are not doing this by getting a grant. We are not doing this by like making a way for ourselves individually. The fight, it's collective, and the oppression can only be overcome in the sense of community, in social movements, in political organization.
So I would like then to prepare ourselves for the second act, but also the audience, because the audience in Theater of Press, they are called not spectators, but also spect-actors. That means at some point after the second act, you will be able, if you want, to join us here on the stage and try out things that the oppressors or the oppressed can also do. So you could replace one of the actors here if you want. And I would like to keep you in mind this question, why we watch the second act. So what do you think the protagonist should do to overcome the oppression she's facing? What can she do? All right. If you want to also ask about the other people involved in this oppression relation, you could also do that. For example, you might think about something that Tom White might do. You might think about something that Elena, a friend, might do. So watch out. You can type things on the chat. We are carefully monitoring as we go. And let's start the second act. See you soon. It's on air, Crystal. 3, 2,
Sorry.
1. You are on air.
Good evening. This is Crystal with your daily news briefing for today. Countless people around the globe are affected by period poverty every day. They suffer due to the lack of access to period products and the stigma surrounding menstruation. Today in Brazil, thousands of protesters are calling to an end of period poverty with demonstrations being held across 7 different capitals. They have built a catapult that throws tampons and sanitary pads on the government buildings and even the police. Protesters say this was inspired by activists in Myanmar and its statement to challenge the institutional misogyny of the Brazilian government. One of their flags, an explosion of tampons painted in red, went viral online and became a symbol of their struggle. Now, for other news, moving to the US, in Chicago, a woman was training her dog, an old Labrador Lily, to load clothes into the washing machine. The owner says she started this during the pandemic as a way to keep her dog entertained by teaching her different tricks. Now, there's any piece of clothing on the floor, the dog Lily will take it to the washing machine. Here's an idea for you to try with your own dogs at home. Just make sure to check if your best friend didn't mix whites and call it laundry. Check our Instagram for more videos of this energetic helping.
Okay, maybe he's a little late. It's okay, it happens. We can wait.
Pri, 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 pri. Pri, 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 pri. Hello.
Hello.
It's Doris.
It's me. How
Wow.
are you, Tom White?
You went through a total refashion. I can tell you by your look that you became really professional from last week, right?
I've been trying my best. I'm glad you noticed.
That's great. So, I've heard that you have something new to show me, right? I guess you have some new ideas. What's the solution to the wicked problem of period poverty? That's what I'm expecting you to show me. Enlighten me with your presentation.
Of course. I did a whole
I want to introduce you, right? Because I'm learning by little, right?
I'm sure you are, right? Well, I did a whole research. I can show you some data. How that sounds?
Yes, now we are talking. I love data. I'm eager for that because that I can just learn from you, even if you don't get funded. That's nice. Thank you.
Well, one thing at a time, okay? Yeah, okay. Well, I can show you some data to show the deepnesses of this problem and how we have a lot of people that we can achieve with this project, because can you see my screen? Is it working?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, because, well, we are talking about from the whole Brazil thing, which is very big, it's like many people. We are talking about 28% of these women, they are directly affected by period poverty. And when 28, I know it's not even 50%, but when you turn around, it's like more than 10 million women. Okay, it's actually 11.8 women. It's a lot of, but we got a public we can focus on, right? Yeah.
What? Did you finish your presentation? So what's the solution? Just go show me the solution. Don't bother me with all this storytelling.
Oh, it's the data actually, but okay. I did also a diagram I can show you. How about that?
Wow, that sounds interesting.
That's good, right?
Right.
One more.
So you're learning how to think in systemic ways, right? I guess this is system thinking is the underlying principles of design thinking. So I guess that's nice. So please explain me.
Yeah, I would like to focus on the production of biodegradable pads. We can also think about hygiene kit, and also reusable pads. But the main thing would be the innovation in the fiber production, which we could use something else, something innovation,
Wait.
something.
You didn't say how do you understand the wicked
Western.
problem. You already described the solution. You hold your horse, You cannot just jump to solution first before you have to explain what's the wicked problem that you're going to solve, which it means is the tame problem. So you have to justify your solutions with an appropriate problem. That's why we have design thinking for that, right?
Of course.
Could you start again?
Okay, but you can see on the image, okay? This weekend it happened on action about women trying to go for their rights, and they protested about period poverty. So I would like to show this as an opportunity for innovation. This is something that it's really on the media, on the news. We can make it out with that. Okay, it's something on trend. You know what I mean, right? And we can also work with these women. Maybe we can think about their production.
No, stop. Rafael, stop. I would just go ahead and close your presentation because this is going nuts. You are going far beyond what we expect, This is a design thinking for women acceleration program. It has nothing to do with politics. So design thinking has nothing to do with politics. You are trying to somehow bring social movements to design thinking. That's not what we do. We are in the commission business. We solve problems through capitalism. We try to solve the problems that capitalism created through the capitalist production systems. And there's nothing political about that. If you want to go to politics, then you go for state-funded acceleration program. You go for design for public policy, design for social innovation, whatever. But design thinking really focuses on capitalist production, Because it's only by look at capitalism that you can find solutions to capitalism. What don't you think?
Well, I was just trying to bring the women to work with us, Wouldn't that be possible? Wouldn't that be interesting?
No. Because women, they can just mess this up just quickly. And we lose control of the movements. And that's not what design is all about. Design is all about controlling the current situation so that it becomes a future expected desirable situation. And I will just explain again to you using my nice visual explanation movies. So look at this. What design thinking is all about. Pay attention because this is very important. You only need 3 things, right? Only 3 things. You need first greed, right? So you want to earn a lot of money. You want to become rich. Then you recognize your positionality of having a lot of privileges. And then you use those privileges to advance it further so you become more privileged. Because you have contacts. And if you use your contact network, all your friends, all the rich people all the investors like me, now Tom White, I'm the biggest design thinking guru in this world. And then you have contacts, you have greed, you have privilege. What you get from this mix? Innovation. That's how innovation has a spark in many parts of the world. And you don't get it. It has nothing to do politics. Do you see any politics here? There's no politics. It's just neutral design thinking, neutral solutions to neutral problems. So what do you think?
Well, I think we got a perspective. We got a perspective. Okay, we can work together, right? What do you want me to do? I can do. I don't know. I
Look,
really need
I
this,
think that
Tom White. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. Okay, I got greed. You want what context? Well, I contact you. I know you. Are we friends?
well, I think that you are not really understanding what's going on, the state of the situation. You are really heading off, and I guess this is because you are Brazilian. I knew this. I shouldn't have tried this, including Brazilian women, because I mean, if we would work with women from our country, that would be fine because they understand how capitalism works, and they understand that they cannot fight against capitalism. They just have to accept it. But Brazilian women, they're always complaining about capitalism and about who got the power, and then they organize protests on the streets. They throw these pads on government authorities. What the hell is that? And I wonder, did you join these Brazilian women? Did you join them, Doris?
Well, I got a friend. She talked to me about this situation.
Ah,
But
no, I get
she
it.
could articulate us. It's good to have context. You said about context, okay? It's about
Yes,
context,
but the
right?
right context. I mean, you should never speak with people from social movements. These people are just destroying the world and putting chaos. They are anarchists. They want to destroy. They are Marxists. They are leftists. They are extremely leftists. They just want to destroy democracy all over the place. And if democracy is destroyed, what will be of capitalism? We wouldn't have an economic system, right? So I'm
Well,
sorry, I would have to hang up because I'm sorry, you can't go ahead with this acceleration program. And I really wish you you have best luck with the social move. Just go and join them. Bye bye.
that was so close. What did I did wrong? I can't believe. I don't know what else am I gonna do? What else? I don't know. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should talk to Elena. I'm calling Elena. Elena?
Hi, Doris. Why are you crying?
Oh, it went all the way down. It did not work well, actually.
What happened?
Oh, I try my best, darling. Like really, I talked about you, I talked about
About
our
me?
yeah, he talked about context, I just wanted to try to bring some concretenesses. I may had showed up some a photo of the manifestation, and I
What?
guess he did not like it, not at all. He was like so pissed off because design think was not political, and he was all saying that I was trying to destroy democracy. I don't know. Well, I'm
Why
sorry.
are you?
Let me focus.
Why did you use like protest photos or anything related to that? Why did you talk about me?
Well, I talked about you because you were a contact of mine that we could
Yeah.
somehow bring these women to help product these pads, maybe reusable or biodegradable pads. I was just trying my best to really
Doris, we
complete this methodology, you know what I'm saying?
so you were
Well,
like
design thinking,
selling
right?
you were selling the articulation we are building from the ground with these people in the communities, you are selling it to Tom White?
Not in the whole way, you know, just a little bit, you know. I was just trying to.
How do you
bring
sell
some
people a
data.
little bit? Like
No, I'm talking about in the process of the methodology, you know. I was just trying to bring some concretenesses, you know, some data reality. You know, you said to me less we are friends, you know, we could trust, you know. I thought we had like a trustable relation, you know.
Yeah, I really thought I could trust you, but like you didn't even come to the meeting, you didn't even come into the protest.
But I
You're
got you,
even,
you know, I thought
yeah,
you
but
were doing the thing with the social movement, and I was doing the articulation with the businessman, you know. Like I am the one who met him, you know, I'm the one who sends the email, who has
yeah, and I am the one
subscribed to this
working,
project, you know.
and I am the one working like with those people, facing struggles every day, crying and like cooking together and like engaging with their young child because they don't have anybody to look after them. And you are what you are like doing meetings with this gringo and
I was very
selling.
busy. Okay. I was very busy. Okay. It's not easy to, you know, have these meetings with someone so busy, you know. You gotta make for yourself, you know. I was doing for myself, but I thought we could work together, you know. We could
Yeah,
also, I
Doris,
could bring you to this project, you know.
we could work together, but not by those rules. We do not want anything to do with this acceleration program, with these capitalist beasts. We don't want that. We have our own fight, and we don't need those money. Yeah, we need the money, but not that money. Like we are getting it elsewhere. We don't want to go by the rules. And I'm very, very sad because you broke our trust. Like you really, really like use this movement we are building with the oppressed women and people who menstruate. And really, I really thought I could trust you, but it's like you think you can talk by these people, for these people, by attending a meeting, by attending that talk we met. And it's very hard for me like to look at you and trust you again. You are selling our movement, our
But this is the
alliances to.
business, you know. This is the life business, okay? I want
No,
to
that
be.
is
I
that is it's not
Why?
business. It's not business. It's people's lives, and you are playing with that, and it's not okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, okay? Maybe
You do
maybe
not hurt
we're
my feelings. It's not about my feelings. It's about political struggle and you not facing it, and you thinking that a capitalist, I don't know, this sexist guy would solve a political and social struggle that we are facing here in Brazil. So I'm very sad that you think that way. It's not about my feelings. It's about you not being capable of recognizing your role in all of this. I'm so sorry. I have to go. I'm actually very busy to hear you crying about something that you use our movement and our alliance. And I'm really sad that you didn't get it, but it's like, yeah, whatever.
Wait, don't go. Don't go yet. Oh my God. I can't believe I failed.
Hey, hey, we are back. So, Viviana, Rafaela, are you there? Nice. Oh, guys, thank you very much so far for all of those who interacted on the chat. We only have 15 minutes left now, but I would like you to try it out. If you have saw something that you would think you can do differently, I'm gonna post on the chat box a link so you can just enter the StreamYard session we are right now and try something different so you can interact with the characters. But if no one joins us, we will keep discussing, right? So if someone joins, I will see here in the backstage, then we will turn back to our characters and that person can try it out. That's the best part of Theater of the Press, especially Theater Forum, this format where the audience becomes part of the show and breaking the fourth wall, right? But anyhow, it's difficult to do this online, I know. That's the best we could find way to offer this opportunity. So while you are we are waiting, if anyone wants to join this last minutes to try out what she wants to say, because an interesting thing about this invitation of the spectator is that many people watch and they would say things, you should do this, you should do that. It's so easy, you should just not let him interrupt you. But then if you are in her place, would you be able to do that? One thing is to strategize in an abstract space. Another thing is to strategize while you are in a concrete space where your existence is at stake, right? So would you like to say a few words about this?
I think it's also interesting that, on the chat, there were many reactions regarding Hafa's character. Why is she not angry? Why is she not responding? But there were very few. There were a few cringy comments about Tom White, but but not. Yeah, there were more comments on how a fellow should react, other than on this persona of the Tom White. And maybe Fed, you can talk a little bit more about your character.
I think my character needs to go through another training, right? So you could type on the chat box the name of the next training sessions that Tom White should do after doing the diversity, equity, and inclusion or innovation. So what's next for Tom White? So if you go ahead.
Also, I don't know if anyone from the audience thought about the title of the performance, about wicked designs. If anyone wants to either join here or comment in the chat about that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a long story about this title, right? We started with this title without knowing exactly what will be the play, because it's improvised, it is interactive. So you in the audience, you are interfering and you're opening that space for you to interfere with us. But then we got this reference from Viviana. She told us about the Wicked Broadway musical show, and that really changed the way we were heading towards. So would you like to say a few words about the influence of this show in our show, Viviana?
Yeah, for those who don't know the Wicked musical, it's about the West Witch in the Mágico de Oz, was wizard, and talks about her perspective in that kind of universe. And she's actually not bad, but a lot of bad things happen to her. And she's actually trying to fight the power of Oz which she considers bad for the Kindle, for that kind of village. So we also try to play with the wicked problem in design, like this very big and confused problem, and that is actually the contradictions that we all face. And once we try to look for one side, we vanish the other. And the Wicked musical brought us to this other perspective. How can we see wicked problem by other perspective? And I don't know if Reggie, you want to talk more about this kind of wicked problems and how do we understand it by other perspective, and also the period poverty theme came because we are facing this kind of struggle in Brazil right now because of Bolsonaro and all. And yeah, it was very latent for us, this topic. So we tried to arrange all these messy things like wicked the musical, wicked problems, and Bolsonaro being a fascist as always. So we tried to accommodate all of that.
Yeah, wicked problems typically right now being used as one of the main concepts to address any kind of social issues, and especially those issues that social movements have fought for to be on the public agenda, and now they are being co-opted by this concept of wicked problems in a way that design thinkers, they don't need to be responsible for what they are doing. So they just tell, it's a wicked problem, we can't do so much with that, we cannot solve it completely. We can only have partial solutions, and if something goes different to what you thought, well, it's a wicked problem anyway. That's why we came up with this concept of wicked designs. And after, so we think that if you start from a wicked problem, anything that you would solve will also be wicked. So a wicked problem leads to a wicked solution that does not really remove the weakness. But after watching this show and reflecting on the history of this term, and even in English language, wickedness are associated with witches, which are women. And it's part of this prejudice against women. It's a relational quality that is typically negative for women or for problems. But maybe wickedness could also be reframed in positive terms. And that brings to the concept of monstrosity that Rafaela have worked on research and affirming positively this otherness, right, Rafaela? Would you like to say a few words?
Of course, even because we were going to show this play here in English and to this public, which is different than ours. So we wanted to embrace these controversies that also happens while we are thinking and idealizing with these thoughts that are not ours because we are colonized. So the monstrosity, it would be to embrace this different perspective that we live in and we struggle with also, because it comes into a struggle. So in here we also showed this different hierarchy and try to build something from this wicked problem, right? I guess that's it.
So we got this comment from Anna Unterstab. She says designers hide behind the term wicked too often, and I guess this is something like a psychological situation of self-justification for doing what you do, right, Bibiana?
Yeah, it's like I'm doing the best I can, kind of situation, and actually putting yourself in the place of the savior, like you were there to save, to rescue somebody from this situation. And we cannot afford to think like that or to act like that. And Doris was just facing that. She thought she was helping these people who menstruate, but actually she was just like doing the best she could, but actually promoting some more oppressions on these marginalized groups. And here in Brazil, we need to think about how we engage with these kind of methodologies that erased our historical path, that erases our struggles in constructing a different society that is different from Europe or different from US, and different from other Latin America places as well. But we share some kind of history, and it's really important for us to think about how we dismantle these kind of approaches and methodologies, and how we build this monstruosity in its place, because we are not like clean, and we don't have like 5 steps to follow into a solution. It's very messy, it's very dirty, and we need to like go deep in the dirty so we can bring up some better ways of living and ways of facing this kind of oppression we face historically.
Well, I've got some questions from the audience, which is very intriguing and very important to me, because, you know, I'm still training. So Rick Griffith asks us, certainly there is a macho element in play that is playing across cultural and geographical boundaries. Machismo seems almost universal here. Is this the wicked problem? Of course not. I mean, we are just helping women, supporting them like I'm doing right now. You know, I'm one man among 3 beautiful women, and that's not machismo. This is really like joining forces to fight oppression. So what do you think, girls?
Of course, of course. It's definitely a thing that is in the structure and and also construct all of this other results. And it's really hard to fight from, because it's such an asymmetry of power between men and women, and it's really it's much more bigger than we think. Like, and here in Brazil, it's definitely something that happens so much, and not also on like our civilizations, but also like in indigenous too. So it's definitely something big and something historical, and there must be done so much work to change this mindset, as they say. But it's much more complicated than that, definitely. But it's definitely a wicked problem, and like the biggest ones, of course.
Katja von Roth has a related comment. We need to overcome a concept of solution. It's a patriarchal idea that is based on purely mechanical worldview. So what do you think, Carmen?
I agree. I don't know, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm the best person to answer this question, because I think just to explain a little bit, my background is in fashion design. We have a very different literature background and than like design products or interaction design, system design, which is a lot more solution driven. And honestly, all this kind of design, and I do find that they're very patriarchal, and they're also more all these other design disciplines like largely occupied and run by men, and maybe this is why they're so solution driven.
Well, I
and
believe,
even when you see men trying to solve fashion problems, they bring this this view, right? Yeah.
yeah, I think designers should learn how to prospect a different future and not trying to be gods and salute everything, because it's not possible. It's not it's not reality itself. But I don't know things.
Well, I would like to thank you for the discussion. I'm sorry that we only have 2 minutes left. Thank you for everybody who posted comments and interacted with us. Would you like to say a few words before we end this session?
I just really wanted to point out this theater we used as a means to talk about oppression, as a means to talk about tensions in design and tensions that we face as designers. And I don't know, that we could promote more spaces where different methodologies and different tools are used for us to reflect, for us to get together and face the struggles of reality. And maybe by doing this, we can overcome the duality of problem and solution, because it's not only problem, it's not only solution we need to overcome, but we need to overcome the notion of problems. And maybe by doing this, by engaging with the situation by different perspectives, approaches, we can face the reality as it is and not as a summary of problems, but as contradictions and as different power relations, and really face that by other means.
I think it's like engaging with the weakness instead of seeing weakness as problems.
Yeah, Brisa is always around.
I would like to invite you to engage with us asynchronously through the Designs of the Oppressed international online course that is recorded and available in our website. I just posted on the chat box. And you can write to us, Design and Oppression Network. There's a link over there, contact with an email. And I would again thank you, the organizer of the 22 Futures Conference, for hosting us. And see you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Good.